I mentioned on Twitter putting the video up.
Yeah.
I just said I've been reluctant to do video. We had a little bit of conversation back and forth. It's just because of my eye problems, my neurological problems. And people say, and they say this, and I appreciate it totally. They say I don't really notice it.
Okay.
But so they're like, hey, no big deal. It's like, it actually is. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
It is a problem. People do notice it. They notice it daily.
Yeah.
You don't on the radio generally, and on video, if I'm reading something, you'll notice it profoundly. Like my head will move. I've had this my entire life. When people notice it, I can't fault them for that.
Right.
It's not their fault. They're not being shallow, noticing that I have something that's different.
Yeah.
And I also know that by virtue of the fact that I'm shaking my head back and forth, it's a negative symbol to people. So I just have to be aware of it. But it's for people to go, hey, don't worry about it and everything. Like, okay, it is a thing.
It is, yeah.
And I have enjoyed not being seen.
Mm-hmm.
Did I tell you that story about that pastor?
No,
Somebody
something
sent me
recently.
a video. Yeah, he's in Nashville. I forget his name, and I'm sorry.
Okay.
I didn't know. I don't know this guy. I guess he's writing a book too, which is kind of interesting. But he's got the same problem.
Hmm.
And I just saw this. Somebody sent it to me, knowing. And he was in India,
Mm-hmm.
and the kids noticed the problem,
Okay.
and he thought they were just like freaking out because sometimes they will. I'm in a place where the kids are like fascinated,
Okay.
and they brought a little girl over to him. The same problem.
Oh, wow.
So it was very affirming to her.
Oh, my
But he
goodness.
was spinning kids around, which is what I do too. But it makes
Yeah.
you dizzy, and that when you're dizzy, there's certain things that trigger it to make it way worse.
Okay.
So if I'm tired, I'm dizzy, like my eyes will start going crazy. And so to compensate, I have to move my head.
Yeah.
And so it was really neat to see his story
Yeah.
about how it was a big relief to her. So I do know blessings come from it, but I am aware of it. We're trying to do more video. I want it to be good. But so that's just part of it. Yeah. So I wanted to mention that.
That's I do have something about video. Can I say real quick?
Yeah.
So as we're doing more video, two things real quick. The first thing is how do I get into it? I know so many women in particular will relate. As you get older and you change, we all change, but women, I think in particular, are very dialed into our looks,
Of course, yeah.
because
Yeah.
of whatever, right? And so as I get older, I have been having this thing with God where I'm like, you know what? I'm going to have to. It came from something you said about trusting God with our reputation. Do you remember that?
Mm-hmm.
I said to God, I'm going to trust you, and it'll be a process, so it's not like a decision, and yay, here I am. I'm going to trust you with my image. Because as we get older, like I've never been a small girl, right? That's just not, genetically, that's just not going to happen, right? But I can do what I can do.
Mm-hmm.
But as you get older as a woman, it just is what it is, ladies, right? Like at some point, it is what it is, right? And what I can't do is get on another side of life and stress about it.
No.
You see what I'm saying? I can't stress about it. I can't worry about it. We're doing camera. I just can't. And you know what is really, really funny is we did the book reading and we videoed it because I wanted to see how it looked and was it good and can I do it again or whatever. And they sent me the video and they forgot to take the slides off. So there was no video. It was just the slides. I never saw myself when I did the live show.
Uh-huh.
And I heard the whole show and never saw myself. And it was so different because I was mad at first. It's like I wanted to see that. I wanted to see if it worked. And then it was like, that was so freeing because I didn't have the opportunity to critique every part of my physical self.
Yeah, right.
I could just hear,
Yeah. See,
was that okay? Yeah, that you know what that worked.
That's what I like.
I could hear where it laugh line fell, where it didn't fall. Was
Right.
that okay? Instead of looking and
Right,
seeing,
right.
you look kind of dumb. You probably should have. I just wanted to say that is that as we're talking about video, that's a decision. Having had surgery in January and knowing that this path that I'm on will cause fluctuations that are noticeable visually, I have said to God, I cannot live a life where I am concerned about that day in and day out.
No.
I am going to have to honor you, do the best I can to take care of this temple, and then be okay and trust you with my image, because that's going to cause a stress that's not going to be good for anybody. And I don't want to live in this season of life with that kind of stress.
No, and it's loving to have that attitude.
Yeah.
Because it will stop you.
Yeah.
I know this too.
Yeah.
Like the self concern about I'm coming off wrong, or me like, oh, look at the video of me. Looking like I feel freaky.
Yeah.
Like, well, he's like, but if that's gonna rule the day, then you don't serve people like you could.
That's
and
right.
You miss out on
That's
that.
right. That's right. That's right. You don't serve people like you could.
I do lament the freedom of not having to do video. I really do, and but I know we need to.
I do too. I've hid. Listen, I've hid in radio too. Like, it's been great. I've enjoyed the fact that I could do a lot and not be concerned with it, and have had friends in video and TV and seen what they've had to do with makeup and outfits and all of that, and known that I've never had to really consider that, so I could just consider the art of what I've had to say, and also comedy, knowing that it's not as fashion conscious, but knowing, again, you're going into a different facet of life. And so that's going to be a little different.
Weren't so, and I appreciate what you're saying, because the visual stuff communicates so much information to people.
Yeah, it does.
And I wish it weren't so, because I want my words.
I do too.
I want my words. No, like, if it's distracting, like, I want to say things. Like,
I know.
And so to have to worry about that element, I'm trying not to worry about it. But it's just like, I am aware.
Yes.
So, yeah, and there's a lot of people that have to deal with this in different ways.
That's very true.
So I'm sending the wrong. I'm saying this, but I'm sending the wrong. Right. But it's always the visuals that trump what you're saying.
I know. That's why I try to wear the same thing all the time. So once I found, okay, black jacket, black pants, this looks good, this makes me feel comfortable.
Yeah, you don't think
then I
about
was
it.
like, that's the uniform. That's a good thing to make me feel okay. Then I'm not thinking about that every time I have to be on stage. What am I going to wear?
Right.
This makes me feel good. This makes me, I feel, communicate well. And then I'm not thinking about it.
Yeah.
So that's good. So I thought, all right, that's good. And then it's like, okay, from there, you're going to have to be okay.
Yeah,
and
that's right.
That's you're just going to have to be okay and do the best that you can, because, it's real easy as you get older as a woman to be like, to look in the mirror and be like, who is she? As you, you know what I mean?
Yeah. As soon as I'm self-forgetful, somebody brings it up.
Yeah.
That's been my entire life.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, having a good time with friends. Hey, why are you shaking your head?
Oh, you know what? At the book reading, someone did that, and it was so bracing, because you say people do that, but to be there in the moment, she said it, and it came out of nowhere.
Yeah, they say it.
And it was like, what?
I can't blame them. But it is.
But it is.
If I was going to feel sorry for myself,
Yeah.
I would start with as soon as it's off my brain.
Yeah,
Like, I'm not worried about it, having a good time.
Yeah,
somebody brings it up.
Yeah.
Like, okay, right, okay.
Right, yeah.
all right.
And then it takes you right back.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you can imagine the relief growing up like that, especially if you're in middle school, high school, whatever, where it's all about, and then to do puppets.
Yeah, right. Yeah, because you're not, and then you can just do
Be on the
voices.
radio.
I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To write things.
Right. And then they come to us and say, guess what? YouTube is the new
It's
thing.
all about YouTube. No. Oh. I'm thankful for the years we had.
Just know I did the same
yeah,
thing. And then when they sent us the first video, I looked at it and I was like, and then I was like, no, be okay.
Have to, and that's part of serving people. It cannot be me feeling sorry for myself or me being overly concerned.
Yeah. Well, I you know what I do say? I'm not saying this to pump you up. I'm saying it legitimately from the bottom of my heart. Thank you for the content That's what makes this okay for me.
Oh, good.
Because it's like, no, I do know what we're saying. Even if we're goofing off, I know what we're saying matters.
Yeah.
And so then it becomes a little arrogant for me to say, I don't like how I look. So therefore, people don't get what he said or what we said. No, you don't get to hear that.
You know what? That's a great point.
Because the way I looked, that's now I'm being arrogant to say my look is going to supersede this blessing that people get.
But also the fact that what we're talking about, and it's both of us, talking about things of such import, in between the goofy stuff, but of such import that that weighs against it. It's like a sliding scale. Like if we're just doing fluffy things, I need to look better.
Right.
But if there's actual value, hopefully there's like actually discussing kingdom stuff,
right.
and that does. I shouldn't have to think about myself very much. So that's where we are.
Yes,
it's like, well,
it is.
we need to do it because it's okay, whatever.
Yeah, there it is, and you know, not to elevate ourselves to biblical proportions, but when you look at the Bible, that there's a good examples. There are examples of people who just didn't fit. You know what I mean? Every person you look at, it's like
God uses them anyway.
He does, and so we just say, "All right, thank you, Lord," and God, I commit to not eating 5 pizzas a night.
Yeah, me too.
And then whatever happens after that.
If we do, so what?
We're saying important things, Jesus. That's the important thing, Lord.
That's